Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a sound recording component to any music app that you create using MIT App Inventor. So come, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to take my Little Piano app. So I need the music files which I play using this piano needs to be saved permanently to my device memory and not using any database components or something, but using a simple sound recorder. And it is going to be multiple storage, like I'm going to store multiple sound files using a single sound recorder component. For that, first let me add the most important step, which is adding a sound recorder, and that will be available under the media section. Go to media under palette window, drag and drop a non-visible component called sound recorder and drop it into the viewer screen. We are not going to specify the storage path in the properties itself because the file name is going to be varied for every single music track that I play. So obviously we need to do some programming in the block section, which we'll be doing it in the later part. Now let me finish adding few buttons to my recording. For that, I'm going to make use of an horizontal layout. So go to layout section, drag and drop an horizontal arrangement and place it below the entire canvas where I've designed all my keys. And then change the width of horizontal arrangement to fill parent. So what is going to come inside this horizontal arrangement? It's a couple of buttons to start and stop the recordings, and then a simple recording symbol like one with a mic and a recording text to be displayed at the time of recording the music file, and few label components to provide padding. So first let me add another horizontal arrangement, and inside this only I'm going to place that recording icon. So for this, go to user interface, drag and drop an image component as well as a label component. I'm going to place both of these components like the image and label inside my horizontal arrangement too, because I want it to be both go visible and invisible at the same time. Instead of programming it separately, I'm going to put it under a same horizontal arrangement and then use it for blocks. Now I need to add an image component to show the recording. For that, I'm going to use a picture that is available in my desktop. So don't worry, I'll be adding this mic image, all the source files, everything to this description link. You can always check in that. Now I have added this mic image. Use it under the picture properties for this image component. So under properties, go to picture and then choose the image mic.png and upload it here. Initially it is too bigger in size. I'm going to change its height and width. So let us say I'm going to keep the height as 8% and width as 5%. Alright, looks good now. And then change the text for label 1 as REC, which indicates some recording is taking place in the background. And I want the text color of my recording to be in red color, so simply change the text color to red. So now I'm going to add two different button components, but before that I've already added a notes label to display whatever the key note that I'm pressing in my keyboard or piano, that needs to be displayed at the bottom using a notes label. So I'm going to make use of this same horizontal arrangement to display the notes as well. And then I'm going to add two different button components, placing it side by side. So click on button 1, rename it under component section as start recording button, start recording button, and button 2 as stop recording button. Now click on Start Recording button. Change the text for button 1 as Start Recording. I'm gonna make its font bold. Background color to some customized red. Also the shape to be rounded. Click on the button 2 component and follow the same steps which I did for start recording. Make its font bold. Change its background color to customized red. Done. Okay, so for start recording, we can change the background color to customized green then. Great. Change the text for button 2 as stop recording. And then its shape to be rounded. Right? So I also want my notes label text to be bit bold. Yeah. And whatever I have placed inside this entire horizontal arrangement 1, I want it to get aligned at the middle. So align vertical to center. And if needed, we can change the align horizontal to center as well. Right? So now I need to add few label components in between to give some spaces. We don't need to rename it anyhow because we are not gonna use it anywhere in the blocks. So simply leave it as it is. Right. So now we have added two different buttons, a sound recorder and some recording images to be displayed. Let's start with the blocks. So simply go to block section. So let's program the button components now. Click on Start Recording, drag and drop, and Start Recording is clicked. As soon as the user presses the Start Recording button, I want to disable the disable the Start Recording button and at the same time enable the Stop Recording button. So at first, set Start Recording button enabled to false. And then set Stop Recording enabled to be true. And then I will call the sound recorder component to start recording the sound. For that, go to sound recorder under block section, drag and drop, call sound recorder, start. At the same time, I want this horizontal arrangement to be visible. As soon as the user presses start recording, I want both of these components to pop up in front of the user screen and display some kind of recording is going on, right? So let us set the horizontal arrangement visibility to be true. So under block section, go to horizontal arrangement, drag and drop, set horizontal arrangement to visibility to true. So as soon as the screen is initialized, I want this horizontal arrangement to go invisible because only at the time of pressing the start recording, I want these two components to be visible to the users, right? Obviously. So now go to screen 1. When screen 1 is initialized, I'm going to set the horizontal arrangement to visibility to false, as well as both of the button components to be enabled, which is start recording and stop recording. So add these two blocks, set start recording enabled to be true and stop recording enabled to be true. Now we need to program the stop recording button. For that, the vice versa needs to be applied, right? So similarly, go to stop recording, drag and drop. When stop recording is clicked, the same but with a different logic. Start recording enabled to be true and stop recording enabled to be false. And then we will call the sound recorder component to stop recording the music. And then automatically this entire horizontal arrangement too should go invisible back to its own format. Alright. So now, as soon as the user presses the stop recording button, I want this music file to be saved in my device memory. For that, we can actually program it in the designer window itself, like go to sound recorder and then we can specify the entire storage path. But whereas I'm going to store multiple pieces of information, like multiple times I may play different tunes using my Little Piano app. So all those music files cannot be saved under a same name, right? Every time when you click on stop recording, the same name, since you use the same name, the music file is going to get replaced, which I don't want in this case. So I'm going to create a variable and then increment it every time when I play a different music file. Let's see how it is done. Alright, so for that I'm going to make use of a simple clock component. So let's go back to designer window, select sensors, drag and drop a clock component. Go to block section, so as soon as a user presses the stop recording button, I want to enable that clock component. Alright, so go to clock, drag and drop, set clock 1 timer enabled to be true, right? And also I need to give a simple notification to the user that the recording has been saved successfully, right? For that we can make use of the notifier component, but we'll take care of it after completing this entire clock. So as soon as the clock timer is enabled, drag and drop. When clock 1 timer is enabled, I need to set the storage path for my sound recorder. So go to sound recorder component, drag and drop, set sound recorder saved recording to. Usually we will be giving the entire storage path using a simple text string, which is like which usually goes in this format. Let me show you using a notepad. So like storage slash emulated slash 0 slash followed by any document, let us say documents slash the file name, which is piano dot, along with the extension, which is 3gp. So this entire storage slash emulated slash 0 is a default storage path that you must add for proper functioning of the storage. Whereas the rest of the things like documents or the file name under which you are going to save this music file are totally optional. You can alter it as you wish. Alright. So now this default storage path I'm going to specify in this first string option. So let me type storage slash emulated slash 0 slash. Also the file folder under which I'm going to save my music files. So let me say document and then another slash. After this, I need to specify a file name. So let me say I'm going to give the file name as recording.3gp. But before that, since I'm going to add multiple pieces of information inside the same storage document, which is documents, I'm going to make use of the variable. So go to variables, drag and drop, initialize global name to, let it be name itself. I don't want to change it, and assign a math value to this variable. Initialize global name to, let it be 0 at first. Now go to text under built-in blocks, drag and drop, just join text string to this previous sound recorder saved recording block, and then add one more string to the socket. Place this entire storage path to the first socket of join block and the variable name to the second socket. Hover over name, drag and connect, get global name and connect it to the second socket. And in the third socket, we can always specify the extension we would like to provide. And for that, I'm going to add one more empty text string and then type in as .3gp. Right? So every time when the clock timer is enabled, I'm going to save my own music to this storage path under the file name recording 0.3gp at first. Afterwards, I need to increment it so that it will not replace the existing source file every time when you want to record that music. For that, hover over name, drag and connect, set global name to, go to math block, drag and connect an addition block, get global name plus 1. So the variable value is going to be incremented by 1 every time when the clock is triggered after saving that music file to the device memory. Once it is done, we can always disable the clock component so that it will not get repeated for every 1 second or every 2 seconds or any time interval. For that, go to clock, drag and connect. Set clock on timer enable to be attach a false logic to it. Alright, so now let us add a simple toast message to the user, like what must happen when the sound file has been successfully recorded. For that, we can go like when sound recorder, after the sound is being recorded, then we can call a notifier component to display a simple alert notice. Go back to designer window, click on user interface, drag and drop a notifier component. Go to block section, click on notifier, drag and drop the block called call notifier show alert notice. Add an empty text string to display the message recording saved successfully. So that's it guys, we have learned how to add a sound recording component to any music app, and then how to store multiple pieces of sound files to any storage path that you like in your device memory. And if you have any queries, always reach out to me at support@futurebots.com, or you can post your valuable comments in the comment section as well. You can always use the source file, that is the mic or any other source file that I have added. You can always find it in my description link. Thanks for watching the video. Keep creating.